This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 59, verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him. Shalom laha alahayim, peace to the gods. Nawathan, Kal, Halalium la, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash, giving all praises to Yahweh, in the name Yahweh Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors unto the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and the head elders of all the camps of Great Millstone GMS who do well. Salutations, peace, blessings to the Bayath, the water, the tabernacle of David, the predestined spirits of election scattered abroad. This is your brother Tazapanya of the Great Millstone DC camp. Adawan Ratazar, Lord willing. This quick hit spiritual commentary is edifying unto the elect. So I'm going to try to make this short, but this is big, like you see on your screen. This is Dabu 7, right? This is big. Federal directive issued that allows military to use lethal force on U.S. citizens. All right. Now, from the jump on YouTube, the apostles of Great Millstone have been saying, all right, martial law is going to come to America. Matter of fact, we was already in a martial law type state, but it was going to increase to the point where any rights that you think you have through, the Bill of Rights, U.S. Constitution, your state constitution, or whatever, is null and void. Okay? Matter of fact, even from the UN, when they had that meeting with the Pact of the Future, pretty much all sovereignty, all right, has been, given up or usurped from the UN, all right, of the Constitution. So that's pretty much out the way. It's toilet paper at this point. So this is a 2-minute video. I'm going to let it play and I'm going to get some scriptures, all right, because the hopeful elect, us prophets, have been able to envision what the SHTF, the shit hitting the fan, may look like, as far as a lot of brothers and had dreams, of these troops, just men with guns, militarized type things, and the scenario of what it's going to be like when the only thing that you can stay upon is the Lord. Okay, this is why Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6 is so prevalent, not only right now, but in the times to come. This is why you have to continue to get this truth before the famine of the word completely hits. Because after that, it's a wrap. Isaiah 33 and 6, for wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. The strength of his salvation, for the fear of the Lord is his treasure. You see? So the strength of his salvation in Proverbs, it says that, matter of fact, let me go get it. It says in Proverbs that 24 and verse 10, if thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small. You see? So the only reason you're going to faint in the day of adversity is because you don't have strength of your salvation, according to Proverbs 24 and 10. Okay? Because Isaiah 33 and 6 says, for wisdom and knowledge and stability of thy times, the strength of his salvation. So you have no strength in knowing and giving diligence to make thy calling and election sure. Of course, we don't know. We say we have the hope for elect, right? But you're going to be strong to have that faith and that belief that the Lord is dealing with me. I have a strong chance of making it, Lord willing, of course. We have that number. Because the day of adversity is coming. Jacob's trouble is coming, and it's a day that is, none like it. Allah, Jeremiah 30:7, Alas, for the day is great, and none is like it. For it is the day of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Who is he? The elect of Israel. Right? Because his strength is their salvation. The fear of the Lord is their treasure. So without continuing ranting on, we're going to play this and get some scriptures.
This is Dabu7. A heads up here for some moves that were just made by the Pentagon that slid under the radar for the most part, and most people don't realize what they've done here.
Now, I remember hearing, news, whether it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but I remember the whole lethal force thing, but I didn't see the paper. Now the paper supposedly is going viral today. So as I, skim through it a little bit, then it's starting to make sense. Let me get one more scripture, then I'll let him. Like I said, he's only made a 2-minute video, so it's short. All right. This is Isaiah 10:1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed." Prescribed means to write beforehand. All right, I'll read in the NLT. It says, "What sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws." You feel me? It's unfair. All right, why is it unfair? What he's about to say, to give a quick summary, is that when the state police is basically needing help, the federal military is giving a command from their higher ups to help them and use lethal force upon the population. Okay? So it's gonna be wild out here. It's gonna be wild out here.
The Pentagon issuing a federal directive that now allows the military to use lethal force against Americans. And we'll take a look at this here. We'll go down to page 13, and it starts to speak of here of what the Secretary of Defense has in his power. These are the shots he can call Lloyd Austin right here. In terms of a decision to approve request for these types of assistances, they say right here under C, assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality or any situation.
So hold on, let me read the A, B before he gets to C.
In which
Okay.
It is reasonably foreseeable.
Hold on. Let's go back here.
Of what the Secretary of Defense has in his power. These are the shots he can call Lloyd Austin.
All right, so it says provision of personnel. So they're providing persons, soldiers, to support response efforts for civil disturbances. What is a civil disturbance? Riots, uproars of the people. Doesn't the scripture talk about that? Let's go get that. This is 2 Esdras 9:3. It says, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning." See? So he spoke of these things. Now let's go read verse 2. It says, "Then going up, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." So they're getting ready for what was told to us from the beginning as we know that we're now in the last days, because the Lord has spoken these things through the Holy Scriptures. All right? So civil unrest, civil disturbances is coming through Hegelian dialectic, because this devil, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is going to push that narrative, that vibration, and already have the solution for the problem that they created. It says, which may also require presidential authorization. Didn't, not too long ago, when Donald Eagle-faced Nero Trump went out there to Aurora, Colorado for a rally, 2-3 days ago, and said that he'll bring the 1798 Alien Act or whatever, which is basically talking about internment and concentration camps, right? There, you have to be able through the Spirit to discern and to put these pieces together as a body of Hamashiach Yahushai. You see, you got to envision. The scriptures say, meditate on terror, right? Revelation 12:12 says what? Roughly paraphrasing, that the devil's going to come down unto you having great wrath. So you shouldn't be ignorant of his devices, man. We have to be watchmen. Verse B says Department of Defense responds to chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and high-yield explosive incidents. See, so there's been talks of a little pocket nuke or a little insider, blow something up over here to bring about certain things of this nature. Right? Let's continue.
Right here, in terms of a decision to approve request for these types of assistances, they say right here under C, assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force and that it's likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. This is telling you right there, if they are called in as backup in a hostile situation.
Man, this is crazy, bro. It's too many scriptures in my head. Let's get it. Let's go to Isaiah 19. All right. Isaiah 19, verse 2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. You see that? So there's going to be all types of craziness going on out here. You're going to have American police officers, because this Egypt is talking about is America, spiritually Egypt. And they're going to be fighting against militia groups, all right? American militia groups. This is what? A civil war. Because the last civil war was what? The North versus the South, right? The Union versus the Confederacy, okay? So, man, it's like there's a reason why they put out that movie Civil War the way they did, man. This is 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, and it's about to get real. It is about to get real. Quick precept, and then I'll let him continue. This is 2 Esdras 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up. See, you see this? It said one people shall stand up. What does that mean? That means that they were sitting down, all right? Doesn't it say in Isaiah 14, sit down in the dust, right? O ye talking about Lucifer or whatever, right? Dust is symbolic for confusion, but sitting down, because even in Isaiah chapter 3, it talks about she shall sit down and be desolate. It's talking about Jerusalem. We do use it for Keisha, right? But sitting down is like you don't have no power. That's why in Ezekiel 37, it says what? How they rose up, they stood up upon their feet, being a great exceeding army, talking about, Jake, really the elect, having the wisdom, knowledge, understanding of this truth. So them standing up is them realizing that we're going to completely be in a so-called oppressive state if we don't do something physically. And this is exactly how these Edomites feel. You feel me? That is not in the elite class. So the one people could be the civilian individuals or groups going against the civilian law enforcement, and then they're going to call for backup for the federal law enforcement. You see that? Let's read it again. 2 Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction draw nigh. One people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. You see that? Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You see, this is why they would have to call the federal law enforcement, the military, because these civilian groups, these militias, remember they came out with a bill that they're trying to pass 3 weeks ago to make it illegal for you to have a militia. Like Elder Apostle Tahar said, them good old boys, right? So according to this verse, they gonna be winning. They gonna catch some W's, and the federal government, the state police and all that, they gonna be catching L's. And when they realize they're gonna be catching an L, they gonna call the big brother, you feel me, National Guard, FEMA, UN troops, whoever, Army, right? To come help them to go put in work. Because trust and believe, this whole time, these good old boys been stacking up an arsenal. And it's going to be all hell. It's going to be a war in the streets. All right? This is why in verse 17 it says what? A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Why? Because martial law. Because when them federal troops come in, and there's a war out in the streets, ain't no being able to go here and go there. Hey, yeah, shit is on a lockdown, you heard? Locked down. Let's run that back.
And that it's likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated.
So they know what's coming. You see that? And it's anticipated. They say reasonably. What does reasonably mean? When you reason within yourself, that means you think. So they already had the think tanks. Remember, the inward thought of them is deep. And they came to a conclusion that, yeah, these civilian groups or individuals is going to come up against us. So now we're going to have the federal troops with the decree written already ready, right, to come against them. See, you can't link up the Bible with any other book. She shall not want her mate, man. His word don't go out void. And those men that is supping with Yahweh Shai have the testimony. They see the spiritual eyesight, like Elder Apostle Ariam Lab, all right, said today, man, you got that night vision. You're able to see through the darkness with the light that has been given unto you. And this thing is about to get real. Hey, y'all Bashim Al Shabrakata. You know what I'm saying? So, man, let's do it again. Hey, yo, the brother in the camp Samat, all right, he's camping out there with the elder Pashai out there in Baltimore, city of DMV. He posted in the chat. I was like, yo, I just watched this video from Dabu 7. I'm scrolling down. I'm like, yeah, it's official. This thing is about to pop. We don't have no to 2030. Listen, this thing is about to unravel. This thing is about to blow like a gift wrap bomb, son. Like it's about to get crazy out here. You see what I'm saying? To the likes that your imagination is not even going to be sufficient to the things that because it's unprecedented. They just came out, Elon Musk, with these robots. And remember, anything that they come out with, they already had the technology 20 plus years before. What was that one streamer, Speed or whatever? Like a month ago, he was at some pool and had a Chinese dog with the flamethrower on it. We didn't see drones with the 50 cows connected to it, not moving. Bang, 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 bang. Like, yo, we didn't seen the dogs. You feel me? Jump the robot dogs. We didn't seen like this. This thing is gonna be like all of that sci-fi shit. Y'all didn't, you feel me? This shit ain't fiction no more. This is not a game to be played with. You understand? If the Lord not with you, you're gonna be destroyed, man. Period.
Force, including death or serious.
Let's let him read that
right
again.
here under C, assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force.
They just said, so look, they said it twice. It's reasonably anticipated and reasonably foreseeable. So let's peep that. Let's break that down. The federal government, the Department of Defense, DOD, remember we always like to say break down the 4C, to see things aforetime. So they reasoned in their minds in a secret council of the wicked that they are seeing aforetime that there's going to be a civil uprising, disturbance in America, and they're reasonably anticipating it as well.
And that it's likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. This is telling you right there, if they are called in as backup in a hostile situation, a confrontation between law enforcement and the people.
So we got Jake, so-called Neo-Latino Native Americans that don't even know, even though the federal government knows, and is pushing for a civil war. Like, come on, son. Civil war is coming. All hell's about to break loose. This shit is so when we said we go out to the camp, we telling Jake, you about to get mollywop. Keisha gonna get ravished. You feel me? Elderly and kids is gonna get violated. You know, hey, these people's gonna believe a lie that everything's gonna be normal. They call that normalcy bias. Nope.
Any civil war, revolutionary type of setting here, the feds are saying that the military can use lethal force. It says it right there in front of your face. It also goes on after this to say that they can use drones on us here in the United States. People, you better wake up. This is what they've got planned. It's on the books right now. And you better hope you're in a state that has passed laws where they don't allow this to happen. For instance, in my state of Kentucky, They put a law on the books that the feds cannot come here and support any type of police activity like that whatsoever. If they do come here, the feds are on their own. The police can't help them. The sheriffs can't help them. National Guard can't help them. No one. They're on their own if they try to come in here in Kentucky. So, just a heads up.
Yeah, keep thinking that, Dabu 7. And that's all that is going to just increase that civil war environment. Talking about they on their own. They just got the law for them to kill your ass. Your state National Guard, state police, city police, whatever. This shit is about to get crazy.
To what's going down here, I see this playing big here in the future. I'll leave a link. Join me for the live streams where I talk about it.
All right, so this is 2 Ezra 16, and we'll start at verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none. Sparing none. Sparing none. Sparing none. But still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So yeah, man. The stage is set. And it's about to go down. And the enemy's going to come in like a flood, like I read in the beginning of this video. But the Lord's going to set up a standard. That standard is Nawas, which means to escape or flee. All right? Or, and it could be used as I was doing research on the word. All right? Whether you flee or somebody else flees. All right? So the Lord, when this thing comes down, if the Lord is working with you, spiritual power is going to be lifted up for certain brothers in order for them to escape or to put in work for their enemy, these military troops to escape. Because you're going to be going bright burn on their ass. You feel me? You're going to be going Super Saiyan 4 Ultra Instinct Goku on their ass. You feel me? But I'm going to leave it at that, man. Lord willing, I was edifying to the elect. You know, it says the just shall live by faith. So we have to endure to the end, because the things that we about to see, man, prepare yourself, right? Psalms 91, all right? 1,000 people going to be dead on one side, another, 10,000 on the other side, but continue to keep your eyes on Yahweh Shah. Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah. On to the next one. Shalom.